Okay, welcome guys, my name is Burgundy, here's some more Nosgoth, although not in a live commentary format that I usually do. I will be talking over the only match I managed to record today, seeing as the lobbies are insanely long, or the matchmaking lobbies, matchmaking queues, whatever. Longer than ever actually with this patch. Some 34 minutes I waited today, as you saw here in the beginning, and yeah. That's the general state of affairs. Instead, I'll be talking over this one game that I managed to record but didn't commentate over because I thought I should warm up some with a new character before making a video. I'm an idiot, I suppose. So yeah, there will be no in-game audio either, I'm afraid, because I was in Skype with my friend when I was recording it, and you don't want to hear two Swedish idiots just yelling at each other. Yeah, well, not yelling, but you know what I'm saying. So, hopefully that's okay for everyone, and let's dive right into it. And first off, let's discuss the Beastmaster. I will be showing you the rounds in different order, seeing as Beastmaster was the last one, but it's the first topic I'm gonna cover. So strap in for a wild ride. Yeah. Okay then, so regarding the Beastmaster as a whole, he's an okay character. I wouldn't pick him over, or okay class character isn't really the right word. I wouldn't pick him over any other human class. I'd probably rather have a prophet or hunter or scout or engineer or what have you. Well, alchemist is the correct word, I guess. So yeah, but he's a lot of fun to play still. He has a lot of up-close damage, excuse me. Shifting in my seat abruptly. A lot of up-close damage with his different shotguns. The shotguns vary from a standard, you know, mid-range, mid-damage, mid-clip size, well-rounded one, to a rapid-fire one that deals a shit ton of damage if you can control it, because the recoil is out of control, which is the point. And a heavy version that shoots 4 very powerful shots, but they are not very good at range. Very powerful at close range. You see how it is. And then there's a long-ranged option, which I tried, and it wasn't amazing. But you know, a lot of options there, and overall I say it's very functional, but it's not very useful in the sense that you would think he's useful. His flying form is horrendously bad, in the sense that you don't really use it for anything other. The only thing I use it for in this game was to get from point A to point B if I was separated from my team. Say I died and you spawned, I can fly over some terrain and reach my team faster, or we got separated somehow and I decided, hey, I can fly to them. But the flying otherwise is useless, but that's a pretty useful part of it. All in of itself. How do you say that? I don't know. In that regard, it's not completely useless, I suppose, even though I just said so. It's going very well. Okay. The abilities you can use in the sky are... The one I like is the Q that lets you dive towards the ground and knock down vampires that you hit. You don't stagger them, you knock them on the floor. And that's pretty fucking powerful, I'd say. That's a lot of CC to have just flying in out of the sky, and then when they're down you can just start pounding them with your shotgun, essentially. Or your chain lightning or bomb or whatever. I'll get to that in a bit. But it's really powerful, you know. It's good stuff. My sister and her boyfriend are making interesting noises. Not the kind you think. But what are they doing? Okay then, sidetracking. Yeah, so the flying is pretty useless, but it's okay, and the Q... It is useful, but it is very exposed, that's what I want to say, and people can't use it the way I think people want, you know, flying around being this cool bird of prey, chasing down vampires, sitting on the rooftops, kicking ass. No. You might use it as a mobility tool, you might use your dive attack to knock vampires on their ass and kill them, that's very useful. Do not use the other flight mode ability that is 5, I think, shots, that explosive shots that deal 90 damage on hit. It's okay poke, but when are you really gonna use it? And if you use it to chase down vampires and poke them with it, they're gonna kill you. How, you might ask? Well, first of all, you have a limited amount of time in the air, which does cause some issues. And then you also have the sentinels to deal with. How are the sentinels attacking you in the sky, you wonder? I'll get to that in a few moments or minutes or what have you. So, yeah. In terms of other abilities, you have either a Chain Lightning ability that bounces from vampire to vampire back and forth, dealing 150 damage. It can also bounce via your allies if you need a little bit of extra range. It has no effect on your allies, but it does help it bounce, so to speak. So if you have two vampires are far apart from each other but an ally in between, you can potentially make it bounce, which is a good thing. I've been trying to do this so many times, so sorry if it gets a little bit weird at times. Now, your other abilities consists of either a... wait a minute. No, it's either Chain Lightning. I should finish that one before I continue. It's either Chain Lightning or a Grenade. Now, the Grenade you chuck out, and if you leave it as it is, it'll blow up after a while and deal 350 damage, I believe. But if you shoot it while in the air whilst throwing and a vampire's nearby, it will deal 500 damage, which is significantly much better. Or damage. Higher damage, you know. And I didn't use it in this game mainly because it's a little bit finicky for me. Not really my kind of thing, and I feel like the alternative to it is way better, being the Chain Lightning, which is very easy to hit and it's almost guaranteed damage. Even though you could argue you could just be shooting, but sometimes you run out of bullets. Not that I used it in that very useful way, because I just thought of it now, but yeah, if you run out of bullets and need a little bit more oomph, you can shoot out your Chain Lightning potentially. Yeah, his other abilities are either a burst from your shotgun that knocks vampires back. If they hit terrain, they stagger, and it's useful as a healing tool, but I think it was pretty boring, so I decided to go with the even more supportish version, or option, or alternative, which allows you to give yourself and one of your allies 50% increased attack speed. An attack speed buff on the human team, which to me is insane. On vampires, I really like getting attack speed stuff if I can excuse it or find a good reason for it, because there are, of course, better perks you can take. Let's say I have an enchantment with attack speed that doesn't nerf me horrendously in other ways, I will use it. And now you can have that on humans, which is insane. Imagine a prophet with heavy pistols getting 50% more fire rate. That's insane. Imagine a prophet using quick pistols. Few people do it, but it's a lot of fun from time to time with 50% more attack speed. Yeah, that's a Gatling gun. Imagine a hunter. Yeah, you can see where this is going. It's pretty fucking powerful. An engineer with 50 extra attack speed is just gonna lob out grenades at the speed of light. So yeah, provided that the person in question has good aim, you have made your ally very much stronger. And yourself. It affects two people. You have to aim it, I think, and I'm not sure if you miss it, perhaps you don't get the bonus at all, which would be sort of balanced, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it when the game is a little bit more stable. Now, that should be all of the abilities for the Beastmaster, and my general opinion of him is fun. He fulfills a purpose, but I think you would probably most likely be better off with either an alchemist or anything else, really. But yeah. Not horrendous. Something you shouldn't be doing though, which I can't believe I avoided this time around, was stacking 4 of them on top of each other, which is the norm at the moment as I understand it. And it's not a huge surprise, people want to play the new guy, but yeah, that doesn't really work. Especially seeing as I'm actually gonna... Okay, sorry, I was wavering back and forth whether I should cut the recording to switch the topic or if I should keep rambling, and I decided to cut it, and it's just an awkward transition, but don't mention it. Don't worry about it. We're back. It's you and me. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so what they have done, and I think I can understand the theorizing behind this decision. On paper it looks pretty reasonable, but I'm gonna tell you why I don't think it is. And I'm not an expert by any means, but it's pretty logical stuff that I'm gonna present here. They added the attack that I don't know the name of at the moment because I'm a professional, but you'll see me do it from time to time here in the game behind the game in the background right here. The Sentinel now has the ability to spin whilst in the air and knocking or colliding with as many humans as he wants to or can, and you want to collide with all of them if you can. Knocking them on their asses, again not staggering, knocking them down and dealing 300 damage each. No damage drop off whatsoever. That is something they added to the Sentinel, the highest mobility, highest burst damage, most consistent and powerful vampire in the fucking game. My favorite one, admittedly, and I love this ability, but dear God, what were they thinking? Here's what they were thinking most likely: there's gonna be a flying human, and vampires can't attack things in the air very efficiently, seeing as they are melee focused mainly, or the ranged attack they have are ground targeted. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Hell Strike or Abyssal Orb or whatever it's called. Never gonna hit the flying target, and all of the Tyrant attacks and stuff like that. Unless you actually jump as Tyrant and hit the bird in the sky, which would be awesome, although I'm not sure it's gonna work, but yeah. So they added this in order for vampires to have a chance against a flying enemy, which makes sense, although the flying part of that enemy is incredibly weak. As I discussed earlier, it's a good mobility tool, but it's not a threat to the vampires. So instead now we have a mediocre new human class that, you know, does okay, and the most powerful vampire is even more powerful. Interesting decision, and I'm gonna agree with Test Tube Gamer here. I'm pretty sure that they didn't try this out before releasing it, even though they claim to be doing just that when they delayed this release, that they were trying things out to make sure it's just pitch perfect, and it's this instead. Interesting stuff. So I guess that's the end of it. Sentinel, infinitely more powerful. Beastmaster, he's okay. New skins and stuff have been released. I recently got this Sentinel skin that you've been seeing in the background here, and now they released an even cooler one similar to this one, so joke's on me, I suppose. Don't spend money on shit you don't need. Yeah, I think it's pretty ballsy to release new in-game purchase stuff, like luxurious stuff, like random loot boxes or skins or whatever, when there are so many apparent problems in this patch that they have not focused on, such as, well, they had 6 hours of maintenance prior to the release of the patch so nobody could play anyways, and after that, yeah, the 6-hour queue or matchmaking lobbies or whatever, and the fact that if you close down the launcher, which they have for some reason, that's my sister saying goodnight, sorry. Or if you close down the launcher, it won't go down. You actually have to go into Task Manager and force it to go down, otherwise you won't be able to start the game again, or yeah, it's stupid. So overall, a pretty big disappointment, but the game, when you get into it, is pretty fun, although expect a lot of Beastmasters stacking on top of each other, and expect a lot of Sentinels kicking their asses, I suppose. That'll be it for me, I think. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry it was rambly and like unorchestrated. I didn't write a script or anything. I just rambled because I wanted to get it out there, and I wanted to make a video of Nosgoth, but I was stupid enough to not commentate the first game I played, which was the only game I managed to get today. Ta-da! I think I did it. I think I actually finished the video. Wonderful. So, I am not an expert by any means, don't take my opinions to heart, but this is just my general experience after playing the new character for one game and the new Sentinel ability for one game. I'm gonna link below Test Tube Gamer's, the Test Tube Gamer's video regarding the patch. He is way more informative, and there you can learn in more detail and with a lot more, what do you call it, insight to the game. What's going on in this patch and what needs to be fixed and stuff like that. And I shall be attempting to get a game before I go to bed, I suppose. Thank you for watching. If you found it particularly likable, leave a blue thumb down below. It makes my day a little bit brighter every time you do. And if you hated it, then by all means leave a red thumb so I know that I have haters. No, but leave a red thumb and maybe a comment and suggest how I could improve it. Although this is not my forte by any means, I prefer live commentaries. If you want to see some of those, check out the links in the outro that comes right about now. All the best and penis.